Welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Khat Hansen. I am bringing you this show in an attempt to educate you about the forgotten creatures and beings that exist alongside of us on this amazing planet that we call home. Many of these hidden beings are elusive and highly intelligent. Our ancient ancestors of North and South America knew of and understood these beings quite well. Many people are coming into contact with these elusive creatures, and they do not have any knowledge or understanding of what it is they are seeing and interacting with. This oftentimes leaves these individuals fearful and confused. It's my intention to shed some light and share knowledge through this series. I'm going to help alleviate that fear and confusion. It is time for the light to shine through the darkness. If you are interested in sharing your encounter, contact me directly at khathansen@yahoo.com, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hi everyone, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids. It's me, Kat. Today I'm just gonna give my opinion on some things here, and it's kind of important. That's why I'm going to do it. And I know that there's going to be those of you out there who disagree with me, and I'm sure I'll get the emails from you. And then there are those that will totally get what I'm saying. And I hope that you have open ears. That's what I always tell the kids when I go to teach at the schools. I hope you have open ears to hear what I have to say, because in a way it is important, I have to laugh when I see some of the thoughts that are opined as to the Stayama people, It seems that every Bigfoot researcher out there has their own personal beliefs, as to why the Stayama do what they do. I mean, from everything, from food hunting, to their food hunting routines, rock stacking, structure building, everything. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. As a person, who's lived among them for over 50 years now, sometimes the simplest answer is the best. No matter how many hats you make for the Stayama to wear, they are still just that, Stayama. You can dress them up and make them fancy and take them to tea or whatever you want. It's still not going to change their core person, their core personality. Are they capable of understanding simple concepts like food and shelter? Hell yes. If researchers would stop patting themselves, on their collective backs, they would begin to understand that even though it may sound like a rational idea to humans, but they're not going to put it into effect, that idea actually makes perfect sense to a Stayama. And that is the real reason they can do anything. Case in point, why don't they carry weapons like spears, etc.? Well, simple is what works for them. They are not overly complicated, nor are they suffering from autism. Why carry a weapon when you are perfectly able to pick up a rock and use it as a weapon, no matter where you go, even above the snow line and into the desert? They don't have a need to make a weapon. If they need a big stick, they'll tear a branch off a tree or they'll pick up a branch. Simple is what these people are. Not simple-minded, but simple as in going for the bare minimalistic effort. Okay? If you're a male Sasquatch, you're going to use what you were born with and that you have acquired over time, which is your brain and your brawn. Yeah, that's right. brains and brawn. They don't need to carry weapons, as they've learned to hunt and kill proficiently without them. Um, Case in point, they don't need guns. Okay, they don't need fishing poles. Fishing traps they have, and they're made out of rocks, and therefore they're disposable. You can kick it down, or you can push it down, or you can actually leave it in place for another time. They figure these things out. It's so simple. They don't need to overly complicate their lives with weapons and things like that. They're just not into it. The screening that they use for camouflage comes from sticks, leaves, thorny bushes, etc. They weave them together for as long as they need it. I've watched so many people walk right by them. They don't even realize that the stay-in-law are there. Beds, trees are best. That's just the way that they are. Game traps, well, they actually do use some wood, and they use the trees, and they weave almost like a broken down fence. That's the best way to put it. They work as a collective group to drive the game to the break, and then they have 2 males there to kill them. Okay, so it's almost like a funneling down a chute. And once they're in that trap, they just reach out and snap them, and that's the end of it. Animal calls, they don't need to use a little tool, a little special whittled tool that's all carved out, or one that's made of plastic. They become expert at mimicry. Okay, so this is really basic stuff, but if you really think about it, it's all stuff that we as humans could do, and we did do at one time. Hooves and hides are used as sleeping skins. And yeah, musical instruments. I know everyone's going to freak over that one. Yeah, they do. They use the little hooves from the deer, and they make rattles out of them. Okay, do they know stalking and hunting techniques equal to humans? Yeah, they're above us, I believe. I learned to hunt and track from them and my dad, and believe me when I tell you, I grew up with some of the best human hunters and trackers. My uncles made their living that way, hunting and tracking for hunters and for police agencies, to track them with escaped convicts, through the swamps and things. I never watched a human bury themselves to hunt boar. Okay, but I have seen stay-in-law do it. I've watched and listened to humans remark on the diversity of birds in an area and known that it was the stay-in-law that was whistling. Humans think they are the only ones who can find joy in beauty, and that's just not so. Stay-in-law, even find honor and beauty in death. They understand the concept of chaos and static as well. No, not just some stupid semi-bipedal ape. That just irritates me when someone says that. Their whole body is the ultimate weapon from brain to feet, okay? Simplicity needs to be understood before calling their whole species a dumb ape. Did you know that they even understand resonance and cell structure? Yeah, they do. Maybe some researcher out there should take a look at cellular structures of crystals and then look at the art pieces that are there for the Bigfoot researchers that are out there looking at it. It's not something autistic. It's done as a way. It's just done as a way to communicate. Perhaps they wonder why use a hexagonal structure, when making the fish traps. Well, it's simple. It's the best. But why don't they make contact with humans, Kat? Well, they have been. We are just too stuck on ourselves to realize it. This was a concept that bothered my father until I explained to him, that we have nothing they want. If they want to understand or extend the hand, they will. For over 40 years, I have watched them point out that chemtrails in the sky are bad. On certain days, they make the most dangerous ones that they see. We cannot see it until it's too late. And they see a different spectrum of color than we do, so they're constantly showing us danger in the sky. Okay? But do we not pay attention? I mean, seriously, we don't. Instead, we have people out there declaring them autistic. I mean, seriously. Rock clacking is simple intelligence that is taught as a first language to their children. It's for the children to be used in their environment so that they will remain safe. They don't want them calling out, when strangers, i.e. humans, are nearby. They want them to remain safe and unmolested. It's very similar to humans telling their kids, don't talk to strangers and get to a phone to call for help. This was the first language taught to me by them, and I don't know. It's just important that they understand, that we understand that we have to learn how to communicate, and they have to give us the easy stuff first. It's also a way to see, if we will return to chase them off, or if we're actually coming to learn something from them. They're not shy that way. If they want you to interact with them, they're going to keep doing what they're doing and giving you little hints. It's almost like Southern mentality. I grew up down south with my grandma, and I was always taught that if you like something, for instance, you're eating cookies and there's a lemon cookie that's left and there's other people visiting, you don't take that cookie. You never take the last of anything. You let the company have it. Well, that's what they're doing. They're giving us the last cookie to see if we're going to take it and reach out and accept that extended hand that's holding that cookie. And instead, we don't do it. We run around with shows and cameras and obnoxious people with guns trying to molest them in their own home area. So they don't find us too dangerous as adults, but as children, they are scared to death for their children. So they always tell their children to stay away from us. And kids being kids, they're going to be curious. I understand that. But for the most part, the Sema find us amusing and a bit on the dangerous side. We're like a loose cannon, and they know that about us. And that's why they don't just step out and say, ta-da, here we are, because they've seen what we're capable of, and they're not ready to meet us on that level. But they are willing to meet us on their level, and I think that needs to be understood and accepted by the other Bigfoot hunters out there, researchers, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what to call them anymore, because they've already made up their minds as to what these beings are. And it's very sad to me, you know. Well, that's what I had to say today. And I thank you for listening in. And I also wanted to say very quickly a big thank you to a benefactor. James, you are truly a blessing to me. Thank you. I would like to say thank you to my Patreon patrons as well. Thank you. Without your continued support, I really don't know what I would do. These big guys eat a lot. I also would like to encourage you, if you liked anything on this channel, please hit the subscribe button or maybe the like button. I would really appreciate that. And if you know anybody who's interested in what I'm doing here, please show them the channel. Maybe it's not for you, but maybe there's something there that they would like. And with that, I will thank you all, and I hope you have a great day.